Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or what time ninyo na to nakitang bagong video presentation ko on fundamentals of accountancy, business, and management na topic, which is the statement of cash flow. This is just a continuation of the first video discussion and statement of cash flow. Kasi nung una, yung na-discuss kong statement of cash flow was about direct method. Ngayon naman, we will focus on the statement of cash flow using the indirect method. The difference between direct method and indirect method is simply the computation of operating activities. Kasi under indirect method, kung ano yung nakikita nyo sa screen na formula, yun po yung manner of computation natin ng operating activities. Okay, under operating activities, okay, or using the indirect method on computing the cash flow from operating activities, we begin by identifying the net income earned or net loss incurred by the company during the year, and this net income or net loss is being presented on the statement of comprehensive income. And then we will add all non-cash expenses to the net income. Kasi yung kinukompute po natin dito is the operating activities cash transactions. So we need to add back the non-cash expenses. What are the most common non-cash expenses na pwede nating makita on the statement of comprehensive income? The most common is the depreciation expense and the doubtful account expense or the bad debts. These are basic example or most common example of non-cash expense that we need to add back, okay, to the net income, okay, para lumabas talaga kung magkano yung actual cash. And then another difference from the direct method, instead of using the cash receipt and cash disbursement, okay, under the indirect method na computation of cash flow from operating activities, we consider the increases and decreases of the current assets and the current liabilities. For the decrease in current asset, we need to add it back to the net income, and to the increase in current liabilities, we need to add it back as well. For the um, increase in current assets, we need to deduct it from the net income, and then the decrease in current liabilities, we need to deduct it as well. So that once we make the math, okay, or the computation, okay, so we can determine the cash flow from operating activities. Take note, guys, whatever we use na method, whether direct or indirect method, the cash flow from operating activities will have the same figure. Ibig sabihin po nun ha, if you use the direct method, kung magkano yung cash flow from operating activities under direct method, yun din po yung figure ng cash flow from operating activities using the indirect method. In the real world or in business world, mas madalas pong gamitin yung indirect method. Okay? So, another thing that we need to remember is that for investing and financing activities, kung ano po yung computation natin on the direct method, yun din po yung gagamitin natin. So, it means that once we use the indirect method, magkakaiba lang ang computation ng operating activities. So, to illustrate, no, the indirect method of presentation of statement of cash flow, I prepared a simple, okay, illustrative example for, okay, I will read it to you guys, no. Starla Enterprise provided the following information related to the current year's operation. Okay, palitan ko lang itong 2019 at 2020 into a general na format. Okay? Para hindi siya tignan na parang mga pera, kundi years. Okay? So, papalitan ko lang. Okay? Uh-huh. Nalagyan tuloy ng peso sign. Okay? Gawin natin itong general lang. Okay? Okay, ayun, no? So, on 2019, the cash is 30,000 and the cash balance as of the current period, which is 2020, 50,000. Take note that change is a difference between 50 and 30. So, obviously, we have 20,000 na increase, no? Take note once we add back or deduct the current assets, okay, this excludes the cash increases or decreases. Bakit po natin ito hindi isasama kung i-add back yung cash or i-add back yung current asset at i-deduct yung increase on current assets, no? Dahil, okay, kasi itong change on the cash balance, ito po yung kinukompute natin on the statement of cash flow. So that's why I determine first the change on the cash balance because itong 20,000 must be the net change na mako-compute natin on the statement of cash flow. Ibig sabihin, this must be, no? This must be the net change na dapat makikita natin on the statement of cash flow, no? Itong 20,000. So, pag hindi po magtugma yung net change na na-compute natin from the net change sa balance sheet ng cash, it means may posibleng maliit na mali lang on the computation of the statement of cash flow. Okay. Then we have the accounts receivable, which is also a current asset. Kunin na lang po din natin agad yung increase or decrease. Based on the problem, there is an increase because from 15,000 naging 17,000 siya. And then a prepaid expense from 1,500 naging 700 na lang. So there is a decrease. And then we have accounts payable from 20,000 naging 30,000 yung increase. And then from, okay, increase po to 30 versus 20. And then from the notes payable, the notes payable here is presumed to be a trading notes payable, so that is a current liability. So there is a decrease of 3,000 because from 18,000 naging 15,000 na lang. So later, itong apat na to, no, gagamitin po natin on the computation of the operating activities. And then, we have additional information that the sale of equipment, merong cash receipts na 7,000. And then, we acquire a new equipment wherein we disburse 14,000. And then, there is additional cash investment made by the owner of the Starla Enterprise amounting to 20,000. And the owner withdrawn 4,050 from the company for personal use. And then the problem also provided us the net income of 3,000 for the current period and a depreciation expense of 1,500 and a doubtful account expense of 750. Based on the information provided, let's compute the let us prepare the statement of cash flow using the indirect method. So, gawin na po natin. So, una, again, no, we will begin with the heading. Anong sabi sa heading? Okay, that is Starla. Okay, Enterprise. Yun po yung unang dapat ilagay sa heading. Okay, and then, sa pangalawa sa heading is the name of the statement. So obviously we are preparing the statement of cash flow. So this will be statement of cash flow. Okay? And because this is a statement of cash flow, yung wordings na gagamitin natin is for the year ended. Okay? Year ended December 31, 2020. Okay, that is December 31, 2020. So, for operating activities, okay, yun pinakauna, using the indirect method, okay, we will begin the computation by identifying the net income, okay, which is clearly provided in the problem that the net income amounted to, ay, ito yon no, 3,000 pesos. Okay? And then we need to add all non-cash expenses. Okay? So based on the problem, the non-cash expenses are the depreciation expense. Okay? This is the most common expense na non-cash, which amounted to 1,500. And then we have doubtful account expense, which is also a non-cash expense. Okay? Amounting to 750 pesos. Okay, so, and then, after that, we need to add the decrease, okay, on what? So, we need to specify, no? Wag natin sabihin, decrease on current asset. Ano po yung mga decrease na nangganap sa current asset? Well, we have a decrease of 800 for prepaid expense, that is a current asset. Decrease on prepaid expense, okay? Expense of 800, okay? Ilagay po natin 800. And then, an increase on current liabilities. Anong current liabilities po natin ang nag-increase? Based on the problem, we have an increase of 10,000 from the accounts payable account. So, increase on, okay, in accounts payable. Okay? Or decrease in prepaid expense. Okay? So, the increase in accounts payable, which is 10,000. Okay. No? 10,000. And then, we need to deduct, okay, or less the increase in, okay, a current asset. Tignan po natin. Okay? Hindi po natin isasama yung increase in cash kasi ito po yung hinahanap natin na net change from the illustration or presentation of the statement of cash flow. Dahil ito po yung pangtugma natin. So the accounts receivable increases by 2,000. So increase in accounts receivable. Okay? Which is amounting to, okay, so dapat ibawas po yan. So lagyan ko po siya ng negative sign kasi ibabawas ko yan. Accounts receivable. And then we have a decrease in notes payable, which we considered a short-term note payable. So that's why it is a current liability of 3,000. So there is a 3,000 negative, no? So yun lang, no? So after that, we need to compute that, or we do the mathematics here. So that is cash flow, cash inflow or outflow, no? Cash inflow, okay? Cash net inflow or outflow, okay? From operating activities. Which is, isum ko lang, no? I-add ko lang itong lahat. From the net income down to the decrease on notes payable. So the net cash inflow is from operating activities is 11,050. Next, we will prepare the investing activities. Okay? Which is same with the direct method. We will not use this operating activities na formula if we are going to compute the investing activities. Simply, we just write cash receipts from sale of equipment because based on the problem, nagbenta daw ng equipment amounting to, kunin po natin yung amount. The cash receipts from sale is 7,000. And then, there is a cash payment. Okay. Cash payment on acquisition of equipment. Okay, so magkano po binayad natin on the acquisition? So, lagyan po natin siya ng negative sign kasi acquisition nga. Okay, so that is sa 14,000. Ayun, no? And then, we do the math, okay, by deducting 14,000 to 7,000. And then, let's provide a title for this, cash net inflow or outflow, okay, from financing activities. Which is, let's do the mathematics, okay, sum, so that is 7,000. So there is a net cash outflow from investing, not financing. Sorry, there is a error, no? Investing, okay, investing. And then the third one is the financing activity. Okay. From the financing activities, okay, we just provide the cash receipts or cash receipts from additional investment, from additional cash investment, to be particular, no? Based on the problem, the owner invested additional cash of amounting to, okay, 20,000 pesos. So, yon. And then, cash withdrawal. Ayun, that's the appropriate term, okay, of the proprietor or the owner of the, okay, business organization amounting to. So, let's provide it. So, let's put a negative sign on that kasi ibabawas natin. So, amounting to 4,050. So, let's do the math kasi ito lang naman yung mga financing activity ng, okay, financing activities. Okay? So, cash inflow or outflow, okay, from financing activities. So, let's do the math here, the sum, and then that's it. And after that, let's determine the net change. Okay, take note, we have already able to determine the net change of cash, which is, ito yon, no? The net change of cash was, okay, or the net increase or the net decrease, okay, pwede po yun, no? Okay, based on what we have computed, that is 20,000. Dapat 20,000 po ang makompute ko sa statement of cash flow. Pag mangyaring hindi magtugma yung 20,000 na compute ko using this two, okay, and then sa ko-computein ko pa lang, it means may mali po tayong nagawa. Okay? So, hopefully, maging tugma para hindi po natin hanapin yung mali. Okay? So, the net change will be, okay, paano po computein yun again? Add all cash net inflow and outflow. That is, cash net inflow from operating activities plus cash net outflow, okay, from investing activities plus the net cash inflow from the financing activities, and that it's the net change is 20,000, which is equivalent sa na-compute po nating 20,000 na net change by comparing the beginning and the ending balance. However, hindi pa po tayo magtatapos dyan kasi we need to add, ayon, pangkumpleto, pagtapos lang, add the cash beginning balance, okay? So, the beginning balance of cash is, okay, based on the problem was 30,000 kasi by on the year 2019, 30,000 po yung net cash balance. And then we add it, yung dalawa, okay, so that we can have the cash ending balance. Okay? So, 20 plus 30, ayun, tugma po siya sa cash balance na 50,000 as of 2020. So, to check, no, yung buong statement, ito po yan, yung buong statement. Okay? So, Oh, yan yung buong statement ng cash flow. So, okay. So, that is how we do the the presentation of statement of cash flow using the indirect method. Hopefully, naintindihan nyo po yung how to compute, no, or how to prepare the statement of cash flow using indirect method. Okay, yun lang po yung discussion ko for this week under indirect method. So, thank you and God bless everyone. Keep safe.